They didn't have to say it out loud. You could see it in the way they looked at you. The doubt. The quiet comfort they felt knowing you were below them. They didn't hate you. Hate takes effort. They just assumed you would never become anything. They prayed you'd stay small, not because you were a threat, but because your growth would expose their laziness. Your discipline would embarrass their excuses. Your success would force them to look in the mirror. And you felt it. You felt it when your effort went unnoticed, when your work got laughed at, when your silence was mistaken for weakness, when people spoke over you like you weren't even there. But here's what they never understood. You weren't silent because you were weak. You were silent because you were building. While they were talking, you were sharpening. While they were watching, you were learning. While they were comfortable, you were uncomfortable on purpose. You chose isolation over approval. You chose discipline over dopamine. You chose pain over applause. Most people can't do that. Most people need validation to survive. You didn't. You learned to move without announcing, to work without being seen, to suffer without complaining. And that scared them. Because quiet consistency is dangerous. See, when you grind loudly, people prepare. When you grind silently, you arrive unannounced. They thought you were falling behind. In reality, you were disconnecting. You stopped explaining yourself, stopped proving your worth, stopped begging to be understood. You realized something most people never do. Not everyone deserves access to your vision. So you closed the door, not in anger, not in bitterness, but in focus. You trained when no one was watching. You failed when no one cared. You got back up when no one clapped. Every lonely night hardened you. Every ignored effort disciplined you. Every doubt aimed at you became fuel. You didn't become better to prove them wrong. You became better because staying the same was unbearable. They call it luck, timing, chance sacrifice. They didn't see the nights you wanted to quit. They didn't feel the pressure you carried alone. They didn't hear the voice in your head telling you to stop. But you didn't stop. You adapted. You evolved. You became unrecognizable, not just to them, but to your old self. The version of you that doubted, gone. The version that waited for permission, dead. The version that needed approval, buried. What's left is something colder, calmer, more dangerous. You don't speak much now. You don't argue. You don't explain. You let your presence do the talking. And the truth is, they didn't lose because you beat them. They lost because you outgrew the game they were playing. So let them talk. Let them doubt. Let them pray you stay small. You already know the ending. You didn't come back loud. You came back different. And that's the part they'll never recover from.